He's back. Hello, Johnny. Hello, Tahoe Builder. Hello, George. Hello. Hey, wait. Saskatchewan goes from 90 to 110 in the summer and minus 30 to minus 50 in the winter. 34 Fahrenheit or 1 degree Celsius is very warm for the middle of January. I don't know how you guys do that. That's nuts. A chocolate chip cannoli and a glass of wine. That's it's an interesting combination. I'm not opposed though. Do you like cannolis? I like cannolis.
Yeah, they're not bad, but they're not something I'm going to go out looking for type deal. I'm not going to turn one down.
I made a Quaalude reference in the first one. How everybody's going to need a Quaalude to get through the coming days. Everybody needs to calm down. That's like a 1970s thing.
Yeah,
A lot of the folks
watching Wolf of Wall Street.
I grew up in that day and time. I had a crazed uncle.
I know for me, whenever I hear the word cannoli, though, I don't even think of the dessert. I think of the movie. You know, gotta go get the cannolis.
Gotta go get the cannolis.
I really don't even think of that term. Some of those terms have become such a pop culture thing at this point. They've almost lost their real meaning.
Mm-hmm. I think you're right. Pop culture is an interesting thing. Wolf of Wall Street, I didn't even think of that one. That was a crazy movie. Was a crazy movie. Wait, getting ready for snow again. Oh, geez, minus 12. Darling cowgirl, where are you? Minus 12. The only person I've ever met that likes that level of cold is Mike.
Yeah, no. Dang, I am so bright. That's a little better. Well,
wait. You're so bright. You got to wear shades.
I'm so bright. I gotta. How you boys doing here tonight? I know how my boys are doing. They're getting a little cooled off right now. That's how my boys are doing. How's it going, boys?
Yeah, what's up with the lack of snow in parts? I mean, we're getting cold spells, but not much in the way of snow. Okay, come on. Is it HARP?
No, well, could be, but no, I don't really think so. I mean, the thing is, they did so much cloud seeding, right? They did so much weather modification here in the West back in November, December with chemtrails, just like insane chemtrails. But I think they're just not my tush, not my rear end. But I think they're just, they probably pack the ice there. Ice balls, my God, that's right. My testosterone is rising as you're looking at this. I mean,
do you want me to put like the guys, Dr. Fong and all those guys with you for some other ways to boost it where you don't have to sit on an ice pack?
Sure, but this apparently works pretty well. But sure, I'll try anything. I'm
kidding.
I know that I was talking with, and I'd be curious to hear what y'all heard on that one, but I was talking with a chemist, and he promised me that the reason that there are certain guys that are 60, 70 plus years old, but they look like they're 40 or 50 is because of a testosterone regimen. And that's essentially why you'll meet a bunch of doctors, different people that'll look that way, but otherwise they won't prescribe that or tell anyone else that you can take it because technically it's not approved. But I was very, 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 chemist was very certain that he knew how the guys were staying young and that it was just the testosterone regimen.
I think it's a lot of it.
Yeah. There's something going on, and I guess at my age, I count myself as one of those guys who looks better than his age. So there might be some truth to that, and of course, I ooze testosterone. So
wait, because of that cold, do we have shrinkage now? Hey, look, I didn't ask.
Well, I mean, it's. So I'm trying to be technical here.
Yeah, no.
Very practical. It's not exactly on that. It's more underneath. There's the structures underneath. That's what we're concerned about here. We're cooling twins.
Yeah.
We're helping out the boys.
Speaking of Barbie, Penny's well. She is she's got a little arthritis in her hips, and her breathing's improving, but not 100% yet. Yeah, Zester, I don't know about your mic. Did it just switch over from the Yeti to your camera? Not you.
Not certain, maybe.
Oh wait, you sound better, a little better now.
Better. Yeah, there you go.
Maybe. My computer just found some microphones apparently,
Yep.
so maybe that was the reason.
Welcome to Microsoft. Mine does it too. It's annoying.
I'm not even certain I have any more microphones, so I'm probably gonna have to figure that one out. What is
like
this?
20 of them? Like, whoa, who put that microphone there?
It just switched to the NSA or the CIA's bug chip by accident. They're like, wait, what the heck is going on?
Yeah, we really need to pay them a little more so they can afford better tech. That they're trying to hijack ours. They can't figure out which one. They got, the Walmart microphone for recording us. It's
Yeah. Well, I mean, I've given up on the Yeti because I had so many problems with the Yeti. So I bought a new camera, as you may have noticed, a new 4K camera. And by the way, one of the pictures that's back here behind me from now on is going to be the Trump picture. I got to print that out and frame it. So I'm going to be posting it back here. So you can see it every day.
all right. Now I got a question for you though, Mike. Like, what's this?
Well, the Y-Files, I guess they're my friends, but it's a professional friendship. One of the most successful YouTube channels on the planet, 5 or 6 million subscribers, has started a new sit-down chit-chat, Joe Rogan style interview sequence, interview show with AJ, and it's called The Basement. And I was going to be the first guest, but various scheduled things happened. But I'm going to be the second or third guest. And we recorded on Monday. And there I am in front of the step and repeat. And at the Wi-Fi Studios. And the conversation went on for 6 hours. And we got to about 25% of what we wanted to talk about. It was just an amazing day. So that's coming. They're just got to edit 6 hours down to something reasonable. And the episode's coming. So I can't wait. It's a great opportunity for me. And it's great content for them because I bring the shiz. So,
the shizzles.
Yeah. So
Stargate
that was I had to be secretive about this until they were ready to say something about it. So,
why is mainstream media not covering everything going on in Iran right now?
Because they're dick bags.
All right, I'll take that.
Well.
Simplest answer is usually the correct answer.
Yeah, it is.
Not always,
look, the deep state controls the media for the most part, the vast majority of it. The deep state are the ones who created Iran in the first place for the purpose of fomenting global terrorism. Jimmy Carter, CIA lackey Jimmy Carter, created that state, and not through his incompetence, through his deliberate intent to create a terrorist state that would kill millions. And that's what they've done for a long time, the fanatics there. And now Donald Trump is taking it apart. And the Persian people are taking it apart. And the only thing left for me is, why aren't we giving them guns? We should be airdropping crates full of machine guns and rifles and ammo and handguns and just arming the people, and this whole thing would be over in about a day.
Well, you've got to appreciate the irony how the CIA helped engineer the fall of Iran in '79, and now the CIA is helping to engineer the fall of Iran in 2026. I mean, Al Qaeda. I'm trying to pick up just another example of our horrendous foreign policy.
But how deeply involved is CIA? Really, are the clowns in America really in this? What's happening now? I think there's another separate faction that's running this whole thing. And, the Persian people are Christian and Zoroastrian to a small extent.
One of the largest growing Christian communities in the world in Iran.
Yeah, and they have had Islam forced on them. And look, all I can say is maybe the only reason we're not giving them guns is because of the bloodbath that would follow. But as far as I'm concerned, the right people would be in that bloodbath. So go Persia, I believe they're going to change the name of the country back to Persia when this is all said and done. And Israel and Persia are going to have a close and friendly relationship. Yes, they're Christian, Coptic Christian, Eastern Orthodox Christian, and Zoroastrian. Yeah, those are their traditional religions. And I've known many Iranians over the years. And you are watching the deep state apparatus that was created in 1947 when Harry Truman created Majestic 12 and the secret government UFO agencies and all that national security state. You are watching it being taken apart, dismantled, piece by piece.
I mean, we are watching two of the biggest funders of terrorism around the world in training. And remember, Iranian forces trained in off the little island off of Venezuela, according to what we, I mean, there's all kinds of we're counting on it being factual, I guess I should say. But they losing those two billions and billions and billions of dollars that have been going to color revolutions, the opium trade, illicit petroleum, just to prop this up and sow dissent around the world. I'm hopeful I'm on the right side of history this time. I thought I was on the right side when we went in there and started bombing people in Iraq when we were mad at people that were trained in Saudis that trained in Afghanistan. I know, really confusing, right? I want to be on the right side of history for a change.
We were all more innocent then, Mark, and we all believed in the left-right Democrat-Republican lie. We don't believe it anymore.
Yeah. What is you sweet summer children? The Game of Thrones reference on that one. You sweet summer children. Yeah, that was back in the good old days. Things worked a little bit different, but yes, as of right now, it's extremely good for any pizza business around the Pentagon. So
yeah, I understand.
And make a bold assumption that it's not going all that well for Iranian leadership this evening. Very good for the local Domino's franchise holder, though.
Not to bring up a guy that none of us like, but TNT Tony reported on his show. Sorry, Tony, but dude, seriously, you're a demtard. Get your head clear. Put down the malt liquor, Tony, and get clear, okay? Sorry. He says the attack is actually started a couple hours ago, and he does know some people at Clowns in America, and you're not going to see it till tomorrow, which on the news, which is possible, or possibly overnight. And so I kind of watch the news, but I'm also hearing from the other side, from my bond people, that there's a financial thing that's supposed to happen in this exact same time period. And they told me the same thing as of 2 or 3 hours ago. That this event took place or was signed off on or whatever, and we won't see it until tomorrow. The other piece of information was that, and this is your update, is it's one of those moments where when it happens, you're going to remember where you were. You're going to remember where you were when President Kennedy was shot. You're going to remember where you were when the Challenger blew up. You're going to remember where you were when 9/11 happened.
I do think,
and I don't think it's Iran, but something interesting is happening, I think, right now. At least that's what I'm getting told from like every side.
Pizza index spiking, aerial refuelers taking off, Iran scrambling their Air Force. I don't know. The missile destroyer, the Truman, right off their shore. Most of our forces still in the Caribbean. So I do think the Iranian implosion caught the administration a little unprepared. It happened faster than they were expecting, is what I think.
Could be.
You want to sound off up there, Zester? Or are you just going to sit there and look knowledgeable and look down on us idiots?
Yeah. I was just going to let y'all do, let y'all make all of your predictions. Then I get to come back in the future and knock them down. No. I think that Venezuela ended up happening a little late.
Mm-hmm.
And Iran is happening a little early. And that is actually what we're looking at. It's more that both guys went in the wrong direction. Now we're looking at them trying to reshuffle the geopolitics because we're having to have a conversation a little bit early. I would absolutely, though, be convinced that this is the year that we start hearing nonstop about China and Taiwan. They've been scaremongering us for half a decade about that, 2 or 3 decades.
Oh, yeah.
If you really want to draw it out to its full picture. But I have a feeling this year we're going to actually start getting real threats, and it's going to feel a lot like the Boy that Cried Wolf. But otherwise, I think we are executing. We're executing the 2003 plan.
Yeah,
and way behind schedule. Like,
Zester, I think
behind schedule.
You nailed it.
Time.
Yeah, you nailed it. Venezuela happened a little sooner than they thought, or a little later than they expected, or one of the two. And now Iran is happening a little bit earlier. So but the plans are in place, the contingencies are in place, and I think those are being executed, those contingencies. So this is an exciting time to be alive. And don't be scared by what happens. If something does happen tomorrow, think about it like this, Mark. What would you say the percentage is of people that are underwater in their net worth in the United States that actually owe more than they actually bring in on a regular yearly basis? I'd say it's 90% of us, wouldn't you?
Oh, I was going to guess 80% or more.
So acknowledging that that's true. Let's say last Saturday, there was big riots in Tehran, Iran. Let's say that people burned buildings down. They burned down mosques, they burned down government facilities, and they burned down a building that just might contain the central bank of Iran. And then Iranian people who could get online discovered that their bank accounts had disappeared, that their bank websites were inoperative, and that all records of their banking suddenly didn't exist, as if someone had introduced a virus into the Iranian banking system and erased all debts. So I don't know if anybody's ever heard of that idea before, but it's out there somewhere.
Could be.
So I think for the vast majority of people, if I had, say, $5,000 in the bank, but I owed $450 on my mortgage, my car loan, all my stuff, credit card debt, I think I'd wake up the next day to find everything had been wiped clean and say to myself, Mike, you came out ahead. They took your $5,000 and you got $450,000 back, and they're never going to find it. And guess what? The house you're sitting in is now bought and paid for, and you are the rightful owner because you're the one who's sitting there. So, what do you think about that scenario? Any possibility that might be?
I think it's a good possibility. I think it's time for us to start having some fun at some
I agree.
point here.
Yeah.
I'm sitting here. I mean, there's so many big things happening, and you're watching it. Italy looking to pass a law to outlaw the hijab in the country, period.
Good move.
Cutting off all public funding to mosques. Just saying, we're a Christian nation. That's what we are. You either come here and you fit in and say nothing, or you don't get to stay. Found that way. I'm wondering how many other countries are going to swing that way. Interesting. All right, let's talk about something fun. Zester, you want to talk about the first time you drove a Corvette? Or
you know what? I'm getting complaints from some ladies that I know that they're having to explain to their moms what I'm talking about with the ice pack thing. Sorry.
Same, Mike. Same.
you have a lot of them questioning why you're sitting on an ice pack, Zester?
No. Why don't you have to? No,
because
well,
you're
I don't want
32,
to,
buddy. That's why you don't have to, because you're 30 or 32. Or
yeah, I don't want to have to give you a hard time, man.
Yeah,
what would be the fun one for the evening? What's going on?
Well, how about, are you a happy man, Mr. Pittsburgh Steelers fan? Today, something very dramatic happened just a couple of days ago.
Well, one, let's kind of ignore the whole implosion, which I totally saw coming. You got to have a coaching staff that cares, and offensive. Yeah, it's a mess. But I have great faith in my town and my people. But let's get excited. I mean, the Bears and the Seahawks are still there.
Well, the Seahawks should go to the Super Bowl and win it. They're the favorite. They ought to be the favorite. They're the best team. But, number one defense in the NFL, biggest point spread in the NFL, complete domination of the 49ers 2 weeks ago. I mean, fluky things can happen. Bad officiating can happen. Deliberately bad officiating can happen.
And that's my opinion, how they fix the NFL is through the officiating.
Exactly. And, but if nothing fluky happens, I know who's going to win the Super Bowl, and it ain't going to be the Bears, and it ain't going to be the 49ers, and it ain't going to be the Rams, and it ain't going to be the Patriots, and it ain't going to be any of the other teams that are left, except one.
Mike, I'll see you on the prediction markets. You need to get all into that. You're so certain on so much of your football stuff. Have you seen where the prediction markets have gotten now with the blockchain?
I have not, but the prediction markets tend to be driven by East Coast speculators, and East Coast speculators are typically, what's the right term? Full of shiz. Okay.
I think that the current data coming out is that essentially prediction market so far the most accurate group think we've ever achieved. In all of human existence, we've never managed to have a more accurate way.
So I should follow the prediction markets and bet the way they tell me to bet on football.
I'm not. Well, that's what prediction.
You're saying they're highly accurate.
You're already betting if you're participating in the prediction market, but so far, prediction markets are more accurate than any professional on the planet, and it's groupthink. I think it's interesting, but I think everybody needs to remember prediction markets are gambling markets.
Yeah.
They just tell everyone it's a prediction. Oh, you're just predicting what's likely
like
to
anybody
happen.
that thinks playing the stock market isn't gambling. Idiot.
I predict that I'm going to get a blackjack next hand. That's what I predict.
Well, as a response to that, I think who does the sports? Is it Kalshi or Polymarket that does sports?
Kalshi is the one that actually, and this is great. Kalshi bailed out CNN.
Okay.
CNN didn't have enough money, and so Kalshi, the prediction market, said, "Hey, you know what? You start running Kalshi prediction market news, we'll bail you out." And so now, Kalshi is currently keeping CNN afloat because now you can gamble on CNN news, which I think is a really great way of CNN just admitting that they're bullshit.
That they're
by being like, hey, you can literally gamble on what crap we're gonna say. Like, it's not real. Don't worry about it. Just gamble.
The point I was going to make here.
Let loose.
The point I was going to make here is that those same prediction markets parallel Las Vegas back in July when the betting odds first came out. And the over-under on the Seattle Seahawks winning, how many games they would win in 2025 was 7.5. And they were listed as fourth out of 4 teams with a chance to win the NFC West division. So you know what I did? I went out and I took $100 and I bet it on the Seahawks on the over on 7.5 wins. And I bet another $100 on them to win the NFC West division. Well, they won the NFC West and they won 14 games, not 7.5 games. So I got $880 sitting in my drawer, burning a hole in my pocket because I ignored the betting market. So that's how seriously I'm going to take the betting markets, unless the betting markets know something that we don't know, which is that Roger Goodell at 7 Park Avenue, New York City, has already decided that it's going to be the Broncos versus the Rams or something, in which case the refs are going to
he's ruined professional football, by the way.
They might know that. But Zester, they might know that. That might affect the betting.
It's always fun when I stop participating in NFL with the kneeling BS. What's the first team that said, no, not happening? If you kneel or whatever, you're off the team. The Steelers.
Steelers and Mike Tomlin.
What's the first team that said, no, we're not doing the pride this, the whatever. We're not playing this game. We're here to play football. The Steelers. The rest of you NFL fans, your team all threw on the rainbows. They grabbed the cheerleaders, the guys in the dresses, you name it. So stick it. Bah. No,
They put the any cheerleaders out there.
it's America's team.
Well, but I mean, what do you think? What kind of coach do you want to come in? I mean, it's not all scripted, but some of it is sometimes.
Some of it is, I think. I want to see Bill Cowher's return. I know he's older and probably not an option, but I want somebody with that level of fire. Somebody that's not willing to accept mediocrity. I want a Ditka. I either want somebody like that or I want the consummate professional like Dallas used to have. I'm going to see if anybody can get this one right. Because actually, this community, a lot of people are going to get that one right.
Oh, I'm sorry. You were going to, what about the Dallas coach?
Yeah,
What?
no, I'm just wait. Will you adopt me as a new Steelers? Yeah, Jeff, you're in, brother. You are in. Ditka was awesome. No, I'm waiting. I mean, there have been Dungy was a classy guy. There have been some classy ones in the past.
Well, Dungy was a nice guy, but he doesn't belong in the Hall of Fame. I don't think Cowher does either, to be honest. But at least against other guys.
Cowher definitely deserves to be there.
Mike Holmgren should have been in way before him. Jimmy Johnson should have been in way before him. But you got to remember, these are all done by East Coast sportscasters. These are voted on by those guys, and they have their friends and their buddies. And
I was wondering who was going to say Jimmy Johnson. No, Landry. Landry was absolutely a class act, period.
The great coaches back then, Hank Stram, Tom Landry, Don Shula, classic era of NFL coaching.
It's Roethlisberger. Roethlisberger's been coaching like Little League or something, Pee-wee football.
Well, let me ask you this. Do you think Ben Roethlisberger is a Hall of Famer?
Oh, absolutely.
You do? Okay.
I mean, look at his stats. It puts him in one of the top 5 quarterbacks of all time.
Yeah.
So any quarterback that doesn't fall in that, you either take their title or you give them one. So you kind of pick it.
Okay. What
now,
about
I hate for him that the footage from the restaurant where he got like where the girl made the claim that he went into the bathroom and took advantage of her, and they finally released the footage that they had the whole time. He never went in the bathroom. He stood there and held her pocketbook and guarded the door so nobody would go in.
Yeah.
But I mean, it did. It haunted his entire professional career. Yeah.
Do you think, as a counter for my guy, do you think Russell Wilson is a Hall of Famer? Just be honest.
I think he's borderline on the Hall of Fame.
Okay.
I think he let his personality possibly keep him from going to Hall of Fame. But do I think he physically, stat-wise, is worthy of it? Yeah, I do.
Okay, well, let me send you this link then, because I'm going to tell you right now that Russell Wilson is ahead of Ben Roethlisberger in virtually every significant stat for their first 10 years. So Russell Wilson is miles ahead of Ben Roethlisberger when it comes to being a Hall of Famer. And this is not to embarrass you or make you mad. I'm just telling you, this is the kind of shit that I get about Russ that really gets under my skin. This guy is easily, in my mind, one of the top 10 quarterbacks of all time, certainly one of the top 20. And the hate on this guy.
Kelly from Buffalo, there's a lot of them that get the hate out there that were just great quarterbacks.
Yeah, and I don't understand it. And I think
I totally understand it because he won't shut his mouth.
Because he's a Christian. Well, I think it's because he's a Christian. I think it's his religion that he wears on his
sleeve. You think so?
Absolutely. And most of these East Coast sports writers are liberal secularists, and they hate his guts. And he went and
hated Tebow. Same reason they hated Tebow?
Exactly. Tim Tebow was a more effective quarterback than about half the guys that are playing right now, and they ran him out of the league the first time he had a bad game. I mean, you saw the game he beat you guys.
Oh, absolutely.
Absolutely.
He was playing with, I don't know, inspiration from God above in that game.
He's the first kneeler because he kneeled down and prayed to Jesus when he, thanking him for a win.
So anyways, what are you doing, Zester? What's your favorite color?
I've been enjoying comments and reading along with those. Yeah, on the football side, I'm just looking forward to actually messing around with the prediction markets and Mike now on account of that. I'm just going to be sitting there with his team and just going, hey, I just made $10 because your team lost today.
Yeah.
Man, Mike doesn't think that's funny.
Oh, no. Anyway, thank you to the lovely Victoria at the Y-Files for taking care of me there.
Yeah, I'm still
very excited to see that.
I'm still excited for you.
Awesome.
That's just awesome.
It's going to be, look, I'm just going to tell you, AJ's podcast is going to blow up. It's not going to be Joe Rogan's, but it's going to be a close second, third, fourth, or fifth worldwide. And so to be on that is going to be great for me and for my alien career, which I hope to very soon, Mark, be going back to, so I don't talk about any of the rest of this stuff anymore because it's all over with. So I'm hoping. Bears are good, though. Bears are good. Caleb is good.
I was going to go somewhere on this podcast thing, but I just totally brain farted. Oh, well.
Well, you could do that, too. You could do a conversational podcast.
Oh, yeah, I'm already planning on one. I've already been in that planning process, and I'm looking forward to it. Is AJ are they going to film all of them in Vegas? Or are they going to make the guests come and do them? I mean,
yeah, no, they're going to fly him in. They're going to fly him in, I think, to Vegas, which, come to think of it, Victoria, it's your birthday. If you're watching, you guys didn't pay me anything. Because I live here. I mean, all the other guests are going to get put up in the Bellagio and the Wynn. And, oh, no, Mike's not going to get that. Mike can just hop in his car and drive down and be here in 25 minutes.
Is it going to suck when you go in to record your next one with them and I'm sitting there too and I'm staying at the Bellagio?
It's going to suck. But you know what wouldn't suck about that, Mark?
Getting to hang out.
When that happens, it's post-med bed and you're not sitting there. You're standing there shaking my hand saying, I'm glad I'm here. That's
all right. I can live with that one.
That's what I'm looking forward to.
I can live with that one. Rick Buck smelling my brain fart. Yeah, it was quite a brain fart too. I mean, it was epic.
This stuff happens to you as you get into my age bracket, our age bracket. Well, more mine than yours, but yeah.
Now I am looking forward to being able to afford to fly people down to sit down and have a conversation with us for some of those. Zester's looking forward to that too.
Yeah. I just wish there was a good bar in your area that people could go to and have a nice drink and some good food.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I do too.
You know any place like that there?
Oh, I got a great little place down the road that I love. I have to tell you guys about it sometime soon. Maybe do a whiskey and wisdom, get Mike down here, and we'll do it.
That'd be great.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, did you hear that the French and the British and maybe the Germans they're going to send troops to Greenland to keep Trump from taking over Greenland? It's like, would you have done that if Russia or China wanted to take over Greenland? No. What a bunch of...
Well, the problem is they're getting ready to send troops. They said, look, we'll send troops. I mean, taxi driver and a couple. I mean, you look at their militaries and they're so depleted that...
What cracks me
up? I'm kind of looking like, what kind of meaningful contribution can you possibly make to the defense of Greenland at this point? Now, don't get me wrong. You can make great promises how you're going to rebuild your military in the next 10 years, but that's squat for good today.
Yeah, what are they going to do when the people of Greenland vote in a referendum and say, yeah, we want to be part of the U.S. Give us our $500,000. What are they going to do then? Nothing. There's not a damn thing you can do. So, you know what cracks me up, though, is that their response, the French. By the way, Mark, do you know why there's so many trees in Paris?
And I'll bite.
Because the Germans like to march into shade. Anyway, the French military foreign minister or whatever comes in and that's a World War II joke for you folks. Comes in and he says, if Trump tries to take Greenland by force, or even tries to annex Greenland, buys it out. We will kick you out of all of your European bases. And Trump said, when that happened, I would have loved to have seen Trump when they told him, or when he saw this guy saying that, because I'm sure he leaned into the screen and said, "Your terms are acceptable." That's what he wants. It's
unreal.
Zester, it's insane watching the geopolitical landscape of this planet changing almost overnight, like in weeks and days. It's
live.
Unbelievable. Great, fine. You guys give Vlad a call and negotiate with him. You don't need us anymore. We're pulling our bases out. We're not spending $50 billion a year on your bases. You guys go defend yourselves. Pay for your own defense. Have a nice time.
Did you Putin's comment this week about like because Starmer was making, oh yeah, we'll kick Putin's butt, just basically trying to be manly when he's not. And Putin was like, they can't even defend themselves from rapists and rubber boats coming across the channel. We'll walk right in. I was just like, whoa. Have you ever been told you got a really little dick?
The United Kingdom's Royal Navy, and so this was the most dangerous floating force for hundreds of years. Now put out a document, and this was in 2025, that the largest security measure on every one of their vessels was by having a American service member. That was the largest defense mechanism that they currently had active. The UK's military force is incapable of defending anything at this point.
I mean,
the hopes of Europe lie in Poland, as they have always historically during times of tribulation. Poland has always gotten all the crap, in many ways, in the same way that kind of Ireland has. But yeah.
Yeah, the UK's Navy's in such bad
Poland
shape
to rely on. That's it. Poland, though, I honestly think that the danger of Russia is the reason that this gamble is possible. That Trump is making this gamble at this point because we do not want to lose those bases. We honestly don't. It's a matter of global preponderance. This insane political science theory. Essentially, that by the United States remaining active throughout all these different hemispheres, that we continue to control the local politics.
I don't know.
In a similar way to a minor hegemonic power.
Really? I mean, I feel like it's time for us to just worry about the Western Hemisphere and leave the Europeans.
I feel like it's time for us to take more of a Gibraltar approach. And so the reason I say Gibraltar, the United Kingdom owns Gibraltar. Where is Gibraltar?
It is the little, what is the strait? Iberian Strait. I forget the name of the strait.
Yeah.
It controls access.
It's the entrance between the Mediterranean and the Atlantic Ocean.
Yeah.
It's owned by Spain, but the United Kingdom owns the Strait of Gibraltar. It was a long-established deal from during Spanish Wars, but I say that as essentially the example of what the United States needs to do. We need to pick strategic points around the world, and we need to claim ownership of them. The Malacca Strait would be another one that the United States should consider trying to go ahead and claim. Essentially, we would, if we want to stop having to put massive amounts of troops all over the planet, stop having to constantly watch everyone, we can do that if we control the flow of the planet. And we just need to take the proper places, like the Panama Canal,
and
the Malacca
and the Arctic Circle, which
Malaysia, the Arctic in terms of Greenland. And that's what I think he's honestly doing. I don't honestly think, though, that Trump is the one who's masterminded that part of it. I think he's just talked to some serious war planners who have gone through that type of logic and say, hey, this game is really easy to win. Ultimately, if we can control the seas and certain trade routes, we can stop spending all this money influencing all these countries' politics because it won't matter anymore. Yeah. They will essentially fall in line because I mean, what is it? Like 90% of all Chinese trade either flows through the Pacific or the Malacca Strait. Go on over to all of these other ones that Trump seems very focused on. And you start to see a way that the United States can essentially exert hard power while only utilizing soft power.
Right. And if you look at the map, like you have Alaska and we annex Canada and Greenland, basically the entire Western Hemisphere, we have frontline positions where we can put missile defenses that can intercept anything coming out of Russia or China at their apogee, where they are moving the slowest and the easiest to target and shoot down. And if that ain't your golden dome, I don't know what is. So I do think that's what we're after. And I disagree with you. I think I think Trump wants the hell out of Europe, leave Europe to their own devices, let them screw their own continent up. And
he's done the business math.
You're going to see him make very serious agreements with certain countries. We would not want to lose our presence in Germany.
Why?
The air base and the facilities that we have built there.
Who are we imposing? What's our self-interest in? Who are we opposing in Germany?
We're going to want to maintain that location because of the flight paths and everything else. We're going to want to maintain that location. In Germany.
And I could also see protecting like Poland and Hungary, who are trying to stay.
It's a matter of us being able to be a continental power in Europe. And so there's just certain ones that are logical. We're not going to give those up. Other ones, though, make a lot of sense for us to get out of. And there's a very long list of countries that make a lot of sense for the United States to get out of. Certain ones, though, I don't think do. I think you're going to always see us really focused on an idea of having naval bases around the Mediterranean. You're always going to see us focused on certain things, not because it's anything that somebody's thinking about politically. It's because the military is thinking about it that way and saying, well, if something were to go off here, we need that location.
Mm-hmm.
I think that one would be the tough one. But
I don't think we need the Germany location as much as we think we need it.
Well, somebody would just have to take over. If we can go ahead and we can reestablish that in Poland or another power, then that would be absolutely no problem. But you'll see the United States, we're willing to make that gamble right now because we know they won't say no. If they honestly had an option to say no, I think you might see the Trump administration get really aggressive with other European powers and say, wait a second, we still have to be here.
Okay, well.
Here's an important. What do you think of Strange New Worlds? No, all right. Let's while you think about that one, I think we should take a moment of silence for one of Mike's buddies who passed away this week.
Yes.
And an icon in the UFO or ancient astronaut movement, ancient astronaut period. Or just, I don't even think without Daniken that Graham Hancock would have ever become a thing. I don't think Mike Barr may have ever become a thing. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Daniken is such a tremendous influence in that whole movement. And boy, I tell you, he really caught it back in the 70s for it.
Yeah. Eric von Daniken, the pioneer of the ancient astronaut theory, absolutely the guy without whom none of the rest of it would have happened. Richard Hoagland wouldn't have happened, and I wouldn't have happened, and Graham Hancock would have had a lot less to work with. And Eric was a great guy. He lived 90 years. He passed away on Saturday. Wrote the best-selling book, Chariots of the Gods, which you should read. There's a few relatively minor mistakes in it that he got just crucified for by really evil people like Carl Sagan. And Carl was definitely trying to suppress it. And then there's a great documentary, the original documentary, In Search of Ancient Astronauts. If you can find that on rental, go watch that, narrated by the late, great Rod Serling. And Eric's contributions to the whole thing, there would be no Ancient Aliens without him. He was quite an incredible man, sold over 50 million books worldwide in his life. Wrote. The thing is, they went after him. They attacked him viciously. They made up lies about him. And he just kept plugging along and asking his questions. And his audience just grew and grew and grew. And he got bigger and bigger. And He was a wonderful guy. When I would meet him in conferences, you know, he was a hero, right? He was one of my heroes growing up. This is a guy who got me interested in this. And I remember I was at Contact in the Desert back in, I don't know, 2016, 2017, 2018, something like that. And I'm on stage and I'm getting ready to do my presentation. And I'm sitting there and I hear this voice, Mr. Barra. And I turn around and it's Eric's little, you know, and he's like, Mr. Barra. Oh, it's Eric. Eric is on stage with me. Hi, Eric. What can I do for you? And he goes, I wanted to know, are you going to talk about Ceres today? Now, Ceres is a dwarf planet in the asteroid belt. I will never forget that moment. Just absolutely just brought in my head. And I said, yes, Eric, absolutely. And I'm like, it just doesn't make any sense. And it's going to be very exciting to look at because he knew me through my work with Richard and the work on, you know, what we did ancient astronaut theory on the moon and on Mars and on Ceres and all over the solar system. So we aligned together. And the first time he really contacted me was a few years before that. They'd done a special on ancient aliens in honor of him. And they asked me what I thought of him, and I told everybody the truth. And he got my email, and he wrote me just a really nice email about how much he appreciated the things I'd said about him. And I said, well, you know, Eric, I don't think I'm as important as you are, but you're welcome. And so when we would meet up at conferences, get this, 90 years old, he would drink 3 bottles of red wine a night. He would pour a glass and he would drink it, and he didn't guzzle it, but he would just drink it. And, you know, before you know it, there's another bottle and another bottle. And I really think whatever was in that kept him healthy, kept him fresh.
There's a lot of science that'll tell you, all the different things that red wines will keep you healthy and younger. But to Daniken.
Well, to Eric von Daniken, and I got one other quick story I want to tell you. There was a guy named Hermann Oberth, who was father of the German rocketry programs. He hired and mentored Werner von Braun. And then when Werner von Braun got to America, he brought Oberth over. And they interviewed Oberth in like the 50s. And they asked him, how did the Germans invent all this incredible aerospace technology, the jet aircraft, the Me-262, the Horton HO-229, and the V-2? How did you guys achieve all this? And Oberth said, allegedly, we had help. And they said, well, help from who? And he said, the people of other worlds. And I was talking about this over 3 bottles of red wine with Eric one night. And he goes, yes, that is true. He goes, because Eric used to run a hotel in Switzerland. His family owned a hotel. That's how he made his money, right? Originally before Chariots of the Gods. And he goes, that is true. Because you know why? Because Hermann Oberth stayed at my hotel in 1968. And we sat down and I was interested in all this stuff. And I asked him, is that story true? And Oberth told him, this is a guy on the inside of the German rocketry programs. Yes, we had people from other worlds helping us, giving us ideas on how to develop rocket technology and so forth. So those are some of my favorite Eric stories. Just a wonderful, amazing guy. Rest in peace. And, you know, you're one of the nicest men I ever knew. So.
I was going to say, I never got to meet him in person, but anything I've seen with him, of course, one of the earliest. I mean, I was a teenager, maybe not even been a teenager when I read Chariots of the Gods. Yeah, I see a lot of people talking about the yen crashing. It has been a very difficult 48 hours, and the last probably 18 have been very difficult for the Japanese currency. It is stressed. I don't know if I would use the word crashed. That may be a little bit of a
it looks like a steady decline since 2012. It was 76 yen to the dollar in 2012, and today it's 158. And a year ago it was 155. I wouldn't call it a crash either.
It bounced back, and then it suddenly lost everything it bounced back on. Silver being really beat up on right now. When I say that, it's down to like 88 something from like 94, 95. That could just be some profit takers, but my guess is that is more the banks trying to buy and sell large paper positions. There's pure panic going on in the metals world and the banking world right now. I mean, even the London's Metal Exchange, they're changing how they work on spreads and margins to percentages instead of set amounts. Just watching the U.S. Mint, Pneumatis being canceled because they don't know how to price anything.
What do you
I've
think
never
is going
seen
to happen?
anything like it, and I've studied history and economic history specifically very,
Yeah.
very, very closely, and I really can't come up with a period in time where we've seen this many like indicators screaming change.
Well, what do you?
I mean,
Yeah, Mark,
you're younger, so you haven't seen
what
this
does that
in
mean?
real life.
But
Yeah, what does it mean?
What do you think that means? Well, I mean, let's face it. We know what it means. It means something to all the things that we're interested in here. It means something incredibly dramatic is coming, and it's going to be different than anything we have ever heard or seen before. What does that sound like, kids? Sounds like something we've all been waiting for a while.
U.S. bonds getting sold off. BS. They've already started selling off U.S. bonds.
Well, certain of these economies don't make sense. Japan's economy has been struggling since the 80s.
They've been running on borrowed time.
Not like we're just watching what was already supposed to have happened. It's This is all.
By the way, sorry,
hands that got kicked.
Sorry if we're boring the ladies.
Well, the problem is that essentially we're a generations too late to actually have solved the problem, and so now we're about to watch the culmination of all those poor decisions. And unfortunately, the folks that are going to suffer didn't make those decisions. So that's the real kicker. But I would say a lot of folks probably sat around and didn't worry when maybe there should have been a bigger reason to worry. But no, Japan, a lot of these are just hyperlogical. If we start to see countries that are on solid financial footings start to have major problems, I'll start to worry about how bad the cascading effect is going to be. And it's going to be bad even for countries who have good economies. Problem is, we've got a crap one, and the rest of the world has a crap one. So I don't know who's going to come out on this one not.
Yeah, that's kind of like me. Everybody's like expecting the U.S. to be unscathed from this. Oh, we got Trump. Trump's done a heck of a job, I think, mitigating the damage and helping us recover. But you're talking about decades and decades and decades and decades of fraud, malfeasance, overprinting. I mean, I don't even know where to start on this one.
Yeah.
I really believe he is just positioning us to still be here when it's all done. I don't think the whole golden age thing, I think, is a bit of a sunshine up your butthole. I think we're going to do great, but I think the overwhelming majority of Americans are going to not be overly happy.
I think BS Yui here, he's got it lowercase crap versus uppercase crap. Yeah, that's well, we're looking forward to lowercase crap, but that doesn't make it not crap.
Yeah.
You look at birth rates. Europe is finally waking up to going, even with uncontrolled immigration, they still have a negative. I think Germany's first negative birth rate was this year. Well, I say negative birth rate. I'm talking about that's such a how do you describe birth rate when it's not really birth? You're getting it from birth from other countries.
Technically domestic.
Yeah, it's population flow thing.
Yeah. But they call it birth
it's domestic
rate.
If they're born inside of the constraints of the country, it would be domestic.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, so, I think it's the responsibility of people like Zester, young men like Zester, young virile men, to go out and start making more babies then, don't you?
I think he has a duty to mankind. I think, Mike,
you have those good genetics. Look at how handsome he is.
I mean, see, Mike, you've got a duty to keep sitting on those ice packs so that you can go add more.
I can also contribute to this. Yes, I do. I need.
Unfortunately, I went and had a vasectomy, so kind of removed myself from the gene pool. I guess I could have it reversed, but I'm holding out for the med bed.
I think along with this, that everyone out there should commit to taking care of all these children then. And so that's what I'm hearing.
Oh no, Zester, I think under the arrangement that would be taken care of. You wouldn't have that. Yeah, we wouldn't also expect you. That would be a government program. Lebensstrom. The American Lebensstrom. It's just your duty to produce strong American children for the fatherland.
I did my part, 3 kids. Switch, I did my part too, 3 kids. Zester will be the new Elon. No, he'd have to like.
Hey,
Yeah,
the only thing that I don't
He
have
just needs
that
He just needs that $5 million a pop that he can pay him off with. Yes, Kukla. I just still have my Christmas lights up. I just haven't taken them down. And look at how pretty they look. Usually, what I do is I just leave them up until they burn out, which is usually, I don't know, 3-4 months after Christmas is over. But we'll see. They haven't burned out yet, but yeah, I should probably take them down. I'll take them down after my birthday, which is on the 26th. If you ladies would like to send me a present, January 26th, Monday.
Trying to figure out, please show where MSN or Yahoo or CBS covered foreign MAGA being paid. They really haven't. Oh, they will. It's been covered in a lot of different outlets. I think Washington Post even did one on it. Let's see, Serbian New Year's. Just looking at some of these comments before. Oh, geez, it's later than I thought it was.
Oh, yeah. Kind of a subdued night tonight. No dating advice, not too many jokes. But guys,
do dating advice tonight, Mike.
Well, ladies, I just want to tell you, look, this show is 3 guys sitting around chatting as if we were all in the same room, smoking cigars and sharing a whiskey. This is exactly what we would talk about. And sometimes it's funny, sometimes it's irreverent, sometimes it's about girls, and sometimes it's about geopolitical events and economics and football. And that's what you got tonight, unfortunately, on this episode, ladies. So I don't mean to disappoint you, but
I have a fun one on this one, or a fun thought from this one. It's Alley Cat. I used to buy into Population Zero thought, but not anymore. So Population Zero, now I'm gonna definitely defer to y'all on this one, because this is a historical one that I wasn't around for. Wasn't Population Zero or Generation Zero a 80s, 70s type movement based around the idea, essentially stop having babies, the whole planet, we're destroying it, we're the problem type deal?
Yeah, the 60s, 70s, 80s, that crackpot 60s environmentalism crap. And there's a great video out there by a professor who basically says that as long as human lifespans stay about the same as they are now, 80 years, 78, 80 years, that basically the population of the planet will get to 11 billion and then it stops. It doesn't ever get any higher than that. And this planet can support a lot more than 11 billion people. So,
oh, God, yeah.
I forget the name of that video, but it's a YouTube video. You should look it up, Zester. You might find it fascinating how he goes through and figures all this stuff out.
Why do we want to restrict mankind to only living on this planet?
Well, Elon doesn't. Elon wants to go to Mars.
I think we have a duty to spread and to grow. We were made, in my opinion, made in the image of our creator, who's a creator. It's kind of our job to go out there and create and grow. That's my theory, and I'm sticking to it, daggone it.
Elon also said, hey, we might even find evidence of an ancient civilization on Mars. Really, Elon? Watch the Y-Files interview and then call me. Let's talk about it, buddy.
Now, I think Elon knows exactly what he's going for. He is simply calling the bluff by building rockets to go and do it. He's calling any alternative space program, any of those hidden things, any hidden aliens on the planet. He's basically calling the governments of the world to the mat. He's called their bet, their bluff.
Yep.
I do believe that human society essentially has, and that we're not as evolved, we're not as rudimentary or basic as we think, but we're also not as evolved as we think. And we're not even close, in all honesty, as a civilization to the technological point where we would actually be timeless. I think we have to get off of our planet. Ultimately, if we want to believe that humanity is as powerful and ingenious, that is a word that I'll never manage to pronounce, as we are, we have to get off the planet. If anything happens to this planet, we end.
Yeah.
And ultimately, I think it's like our it's our boss fight, because I tend to lean towards the idea that we've already run this before. Essentially, that civilization has occurred on this planet previously. We have run this game before,
over and over and over. In my
and we
opinion,
lost. And that means that, why did we lose? What did the previous civilization do that was wrong? I'm guessing we lost somewhere right around this exact point that we're currently at, where civilization achieved a point where we were capable of constantly interacting, where we created this interconnected world, and that we essentially have done this before and we've destroyed it.
well,
I think
maybe it was like the
we clicked the game button and we're back.
Yes, sir. There's this really great book that I read one time about exactly that subject. You're going to find it amazing. It's called The Choice, written by MikeB. Send me your address. I'll send you a copy. No, I would like you to read it because I would really like to know what you have to add to it that it could make it better.
I mean, but I mean,
yeah, I agree with you. That's what the Hopis say. The Hopis say we got very advanced, and then life got so easy and even more advanced than we are today. 4 times, and then we crashed, and we became morally corrupt, and all we did was gamble and play video games and smoke weed. And God said, "Screw this, let's start over again." Yep. And this is the 4th time now, according to them.
If you look at the original translation, the Bible said the earth was and then became without form and void. In other words, God said, "Yeah, kind of messed up." Job talks about it. They're just the Bible talks
about the great floods of Noah. It was clearly painted that we had achieved, and when I say we, I mean humans.
Humans, yeah.
We had achieved giant cities. Now he speaks of giant cities being destroyed throughout the flood. And so this wasn't running over a bunch of dudes in mud huts. This was running over a fully functioning civilization. Cities on that size require plumbing, sewage, food distribution, specialization of trade.
Pizza delivery.
It's impossible for that to occur without an immense amount of civilization. Hell, there was fast food in the Roman Empire. And so we know that there was far more than that. And it does it always has been one of the curiosities. There's so much about our history that does not make.
I'll go
there
back.
You go.
Millions of Uncle Wally and I picking out, I can't tell you how many like old school coal miners have tools that have been embedded in coal that had to have happened millions and millions of years ago if our understanding of science is even kind of close to right, even sort of just a little bit right. So it's not like, 200,000 years ago, 100,000 years ago, 10,000 years ago. No, we're talking about millions of years ago.
When human beings weren't even supposed to be here. Right. And we're supposed to be here. It's amazing. Cool stuff.
It really is cool stuff.
It makes me think about the Wheel of Time. And in particular, the book series. Mike, did you read Robert Jordan's The Wheel of Time?
I did not. I did not. There you go.
Zester. Jump on that one, Mike.
All right.
The best fantasy series ever.
But ultimately,
and that's the best one I ever read.
But for me, Zester, ultimately, it doesn't matter in the end because those cycles are all finished. We have to fight for our cycle. We have to fight for our existence. We have to change the corruption and change everything that's happening in our world right now, which is why I wrote that book 15 years ago, telling you every kind of like, not in specific, but in general, what's happening is exactly what I foresaw. I have foreseen it. Exactly what's happening. And this is our chance to break the cycle, to not have to start from scratch, and to make a new world for ourselves that's going to be an amazing place. This is our chance. So let's do it.
Yeah, well, hopefully we can finally outrun our own self-destruction.
Yeah.
Good time to start wrapping things, folks, when I enjoyed it because, sometimes it's more wisdom than whiskey, and today was one of those and kind of fun for me. But we're gonna need one soon that's just pure shenanigans.
Well, but we're going to need some bikini-clad women for that, I think, don't you?
I think they would settle for bikini-clad us if it came with an RV.
If the RV happened, yeah. They'd be willing to put up with that. All right, we'll give it to you, but yeah.
Yeah, how many of you folks out there will be okay if all three of us sat around and did whiskey and wisdom and speedos the night it goes? Yeah, I'm not going to do it, but I think it would be.
Remember that?
I would like to know how many of you would go for it. Yeah.
Remember that whole thing about unanswered prayers?
Yeah.
Some of God's greatest gifts,
right?
I got a feeling that anybody wishing for that one, that the greatest gift that could be given is that it doesn't happen.
The full Monty is not going to happen, ladies.
Right.
Unless you privately DM me, in which case, no problem.
All right.
I mean,
on that note,
fans account.
Hey, can I say one thing? Can I say one thing? I'm back tomorrow with a news update. I do have new news or rumors. It's rumors. It's not news. News update tomorrow at 1 Eastern on my show. And the Mushroom Ladies, Kristen and Diana, are going to join me afterwards. So please drop on by. Real News Live with Mike and Jen on Rumble and Mike Bear at 3:33 on YouTube. Please drop in.
Now, Zester, your next one's Friday, right? You did one today.
Yep. Back again on Friday, 11:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm going to be jumping in and discussing what's going on in the crypto markets.
Sounds like a plan. All right, folks, let's call it a wrap. Mods, thank you for sticking with us, especially since we went a bit over. And I'll see you folks in the morning. Well, anybody that can be here. Live long and prosper.
Peace.